to really look in that mirror and to say, what do we need to do as a management team? It reminds me of a time that we were working with one management group, and they were really, to their credit, really facing up to how they as a leadership team were creating a fairly negative victim kind of culture. And so in our case, we'd been doing some assessment work in the organization. We'd talked to all kinds of individuals and done surveys and so on. And so we had a pretty good handle on the environment of that organization. And we presented a report back to the management team, and we're starting first of all with the head of the group, the general manager of this division. And then we took it to a retreat. And the general manager, to his credit, saw right away that many of these issues were in how they were leading the team and how he personally was leading the management group. I'm going to speak to some of this later on. So he began to really look at and deep in the mirror and look at what he could do. And when we did the retreat, he had little portfolios for everybody with the agenda and all this sort of thing like you have here today, but it was one of those portfolio double fold things. And he asked everybody not to open it. And on the outside it said, change begins here. And when we opened it, what do you think was the first thing you saw? It was a big mirror. Change begins here. This is the difficult part of leadership, I think, is to recognize our own behavior being reflected back to us. That is really tough to do. It's easier to be a victim. It's easier to say it's somebody else's fault. There's nothing we can do. It's those idiots that we're hiring. We can't get decent help nowadays. It's so much easier to come up with all kinds of excuses than to really say, what are we doing or not doing as a leadership team that's creating the environment that's attracting or repelling people to us or away from us?